Hi there, my name's Richard Smith. I'm also known as the Longshot King, and for the last 21 months I've been running a betting service online which is called the Longshot King. And in that time we've actually generated a strike rate on all of our selections, and we've had just over 1,600 selections in the last 21 months. And the strike rate has been 19.99%. So pretty decent enough strike rate. Now, in terms of return on investment, I think this is really quite key when you're talking about return on investment on a betting service. And we've generated 574 points clear profit within those 21 months from a 100-point starting bank. So our return on investment, when you look at it literally, is 574%. But is that really the case? Now, what I want to do is, the reason for this video, I've actually put together a betting bank management tool which goes out to Longshot King members, but I want to share it generally with the betting public. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you now over to my laptop, and we're going to go through a video presentation of that tool. It's in Excel. It's quite simple, but very, very powerful. So come on over and join me and watch as I show you how a true return on investment is made on horse racing betting. Cheers now.
Now let's take a look at this, and let me show you how this can help you, and actually how you can get a copy of the betting bank management tool. Now what I want you to do, just please keep watching for a few minutes. Now I don't really care if you're a member of Longshot King or any other betting service. My aim here is to give you some help, and I'm not interested if you sign up for Longshot King or not. So, you know, just sit back, relax, don't feel as though you're going to get pitched Longshot King, because you're not. Now, if you're betting using a system, then you must have a betting bank of at least 100 points. So let's see what would have happened to your 100-point bank if you'd been a member at Longshot King for the last 21 months. So I'm here in the betting bank management tool. As you can see, it's a spreadsheet, very simple, and I'm just going to explain a few of the columns. Most of them are self-explanatory. So here you've got the horse. First one here is get me out of here. The month of the bet, the meeting, which was Cheltenham, the odds 5 to 1, the bet type, which would be either each way or win, and the result, which would either be placed, lost, or won. And then we have our stake column. So if it's an each way bet, it's 2 points, so we've got -2 here, and if it's a win bet, it's -1, so it's just 1 point. So what I want to do is I want to just show you up here, we've got our starting bank of 100 points, and we'll just use that as, let's say that it's £1, so it's £100. Now, the two interesting columns are this one here, where we're looking at profit, and this one here, where we're looking at take. Now, I've got 40 in here, so what this means is that until my bank gets 40% above its starting point, I can't take any profit. Now when it does reach the 40 points, or the 40% above, then I'm taking 25% of that particular profit. So let's have a look. So for example, we had a starting bank of 100, and our first bet, we take off -2, which gives us 98, and then we've got a return on this bet. This horse was actually placed, so we get 1 1/4 points for the place, quarter of the odds, plus our point for the place stake in return. So our total returns are 2.25, and that leaves our rolling bank at 100.25. So we carry on down. We had a loser here, -2, so we drop down to 98.25. But when we come down to this one here, we had a very nice winner, a new story, actually won the cross country, and that was at 40 to 1. So as you see, the rolling bank now is 149, which means that our column has now changed, and here we've been able to take some profit. So if we look at it, we're taking anything which is 40% above the starting bank. So it's now 149. We're going to take 25% of the 49, and you can see now that that's 12.25. So our rolling profit taken is showing at 12.25. Now if we scroll down a bit further, I'm going to carry on going down, and this is an interesting column to look at, because this is the rolling bank. This is actually what you're going to have in your betting account. So we'll go down, and you see that we haven't taken any more profit. but our bank is still quite healthy. We come down to here, all of a sudden our profit goes to 156. So we're going to take another 25% of the 56 that we have in profit, which is 14.15. Then after our next bet, which was also placed, we're still above the 140. So now we take 25% again of the 43.96, which is 10.99. So now our rolling profit taken is 37.39, and our rolling bank is at 143. So we're looking quite healthy. Let's go down a bit further. So we've not got any other profit, and all of a sudden we hit a little patch here. So we had here 3 winners in 4 bets. So our bank at this point after this winner was 168. So again we're taking 25%. So we take 17.12. After the next bet, which was another winner, we're still at 162. We take more profit. The next bet was a loser, but our bank is still above the 140, or the 40% above starting bank. So again we take more profit. And then the next bet was a winner, and that still left us just over the 40% above bank. So again it allowed us to take more profit. So now we've taken 91 points profit, but look at our rolling bank, it's 140 points. So still 40 points above our starting bank, and yet we've got the 91 points already safely in our pocket. Now I'm just showing you this, and this is at selection. Let's have a look what number this was. This was the selection 111. There are over 1,600 selections. Now watch as I scroll down and watch this column here, the rolling bank, and watch this column here, the most important one, the rolling profit taken. So I'm going to scroll down, and as you see, the rolling bank stays quite safe, whilst at the same time the rolling profit is building over a period of time. We carry on down, the rolling bank is still at a decent level, and the profit is still rising. You see that the rolling bank here, it's gone under 100, but we're still in a safe place. We've still got this 171 in the pocket. Now let's go down. I'm just going to scroll down and just watch as we go. Bank still nice, rolling profit still increasing. A nice selection of profit being able to be taken here. A couple of winners and a place. And now you see here that our profit is 265 that we've taken, and our bank is still 148. I'm going to go down to the bottom because I want to show you what the end result was after the 21 months, and I think that you're going to be pretty surprised at what you see. And one thing I want to make clear here, throughout the 21 months we did not have to put in any other money at all into our bank. Our bank was always in the black, and that's the key with the way that we're taking profit. You know, when we're a certain percentage above the starting bank, and it's very key to be able to manage the betting bank. So we're above 300 points profit taken now. Let's go down. As you see, the bank is still healthy, more profit. Let's take you down to the bottom. I don't want to waste too much of your time scrolling through everything, but we'll go down to the bottom and whoop, there we go. So Celestial Halo, that was our last selection in December. Unfortunately for us it was a winner. It won at 14 to 1. We also had another winner on the same day, Go To Your Play, that was also 14 to 1. So our rolling profit taken over 21 months was 549 points. It was actually just over 300 points in 2011. But look at our bank. Our bank is still above the original amount that we put in. So the profit that we've actually made is 549 plus 25. So it's 574 points. But, okay, a 574% return on investment, but is that actually right? Now, Many tipping services will claim return on investment numbers, but don't be fooled. Let me show you the truth and how it really works. What I want to do is I want to go through how you would calculate return on investment, particularly from from Longshot King's perspective. So let's move over here. What I've done, I've put together a small betting bank management tool, and this is like just a very sort of short calculation. So what I want to do, I want to run through with you exactly what would have happened if you'd have been a member with Longshot King for the last 21 months. So here you'll see the number of months that we've subscribed, which is 21. And here you have the current cost of the Longshot King service. It's actually $67, so it's roughly £40. So you'd have had a total outlay of £840, which of course is not an insignificant amount. But let's look at the real return on investment here. Our total points, as you saw, was 549, and the current bank that we had left after the end of December was 125. So our total points 549. We're not going to include the bank at the moment, and I'll get to that in a second. But let's have a look and see whether you would have got a return on investment at different staking levels. So let's first of all go over here, and we're going to enter 1, and I'm going to press enter, and you see now that these numbers here have changed. So basically, although you'd have returned 549 points at £1 per bet, your outlay, which includes your subscriptions and your betting bank, will be 814. So you're actually at a minus, so no return on investment. Let's have a look and let's change it to 2. So we're going to go up, and I'm going to put 2, and let's press enter. Now that looks a little bit different. If we come back down now, you can see that our returns are £1,098. Our outlay is now £789. It's actually lower than the total cost of the subscriptions. The reason is because of course we've got this excess in our current bank, and I'll explain it in a sec. So the profit's 308, and our return on investment is 39%, which is not too bad. But now let's make it look interesting, and I'm going to enter £5 per point as a stake. Now let's have a look. Now this makes a tremendous difference. You see now that our returns are 2,745.28. Our outlay is now only 713, and of course that means our profit is 2,031, which gives a return on investment of 284%. And I think you'll agree that that's a pretty impressive return on investment. So we're not talking about the 574% that I showed you at the bottom of the betting bank management tool. The real return on investment is 284% if you'd have been a subscriber with Longshot King for 21 months and you were betting at £5 per point. Now, how did I work that out? Okay, it's this figure here that we need to look at, which is more interesting. So we have a total cost of subscriptions of £840, and then what we need to do is we need to add our betting bank, because of course that's a cost. So you've got 100 points times your £5 per point is 500, so your total outlay is 1,340. But then what you need to do is you need to minus off what your current bank is, because you've not spent a penny. So basically you're minusing off, what is it, £626 from the 1,340. So basically this is your total outlay, 713. And if your profit is 2,031, then your return on investment is a massive 284%. So there you have it. Finally, you know how to tell if a betting service is giving you true value for money. And I think it's very important that you look at this and you understand. And if you're looking at any other betting service, it doesn't matter whether it's Longshot King or any other service. The thing you need to do is you need to use this tool, take all of the results from any service, plug them into this betting bank management tool, and it will tell you whether you will get a true return on investment. Now, I said at the beginning of the video that I don't really care if you join Longshot King or not. However, what I do care about is if you make money from your betting. And I hope that the video's been useful. I hope that you've learned something from it. Now, this tool is actually free to Longshot King members, but you can get a copy. If you want a copy, then you can get it by doing a couple of things. So let me just explain that to you.
Hey, thanks very much for watching the video. I hope that you enjoyed that, and I hope that it was useful. What I want to do is I want to give you a little bit of background about myself. I was actually absolutely hooked on horse racing from a very young age. I spent most of my youth actually working in racing stables. I spent some time at Ian Balding's. At the time, he had the horse Glint of Gold, which finished second in the Derby behind the mighty Shergar. Also spent some time with Guy Harwood at Pulborough. He also had a Derby horse at that time, which was called Rankin. But probably the best times were spent in Newmarket, and I spent some time with a number of trainers there, with Ben Hanbury, with Jerry Blum, but also with a guy called Bill Marshall, who many of you probably wouldn't have heard of. But Bill was a maverick trainer at the time, back in the 70s, and at that time he had a couple of guys working at his yard, and basically one of the guys, a guy called Arthur Freeman. You might not know the name, but Arthur Freeman actually rode Mr. Watt to win the Grand National in the 50s, and Arthur actually was my riding tutor. And at the same time at Bill Marshall's, there was a young guy there, a young Welsh guy called Neil Doughty, and probably you might have heard of Neil. Neil went on to ride for Gordon Richards, and he actually rode Hallow Dandy to win the Grand National. So I was very fortunate at the time to spend some time with some really, really good people, so it was really good fun. Now, we all see the glamorous side of racing. I love a bet. That's something that I do to make a living, and I love going racing. We all see that part of racing, but what we don't see is what goes on necessarily behind the scenes. And there's a charity that's involved very, very deeply with racing, and that's a charity called Racing Welfare. Now, Racing Welfare, they work tirelessly behind the scenes, and what they do is they help people. They help stable staff, people that are still working in racing, or people that have actually fallen out of employment. They help them in terms of providing housing, they provide financial support, and they also provide retraining for these people so that they can go on outside of racing and find another job. Now, as I mentioned earlier, members of Longshot King get the betting bank management tool anyway. But if you're not interested in Longshot King, that's fine. But if you do think that the betting bank management tool could be useful for you, then you can get a copy. But you have to do a couple of things for me. The first one is that what I'd like you to do is to make a donation to Racing Welfare at www.racingwelfare.co.uk. Now, I don't mind how much you donate. It could be 50p, it could be a fiver, it could be a tenner, whatever your choice. It really doesn't matter. It is such a good cause, and you'll be doing a great thing indeed by helping these guys out. The second thing I'd like you to do, so that you can get your betting bank management tool, is to pop over to the Longshot King's Facebook page and just like the page for us. And once you've done those two things, all you need to do is pop me an email and send me an email to racingwelfare@longshotking.com, or you can contact me on Skype. I'm always available on Skype, and my Skype is the Longshot King, all one word and all lowercase letters. So if you want to get a copy of the betting bank management tool, then do those two things for me, and as soon as that's done, I'll send you over a copy. All it leaves me to do is to wish you the very best with your punting, and as I say, whether you're joining Longshot King or not, good luck, and good luck with your betting. Okay, cheers now.